hungry. So I'm not eating it. So.
Whatever you need.
Well, I don't want to be eating while we're meeting, but I was like, that's why I was like trying to do it real fast before everybody, or before we all got started.
I forgot the papers. Brought me all
Yeah.
these.
Yeah, I have copies for
I
y'all.
got the papers and then I come over and you're, thanks. Well, that's not the paper I want. No, it is right. I just not the paper that I'm looking for.
You got everything? We have a YouTube.
How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. I'm okay.
Confusion.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was just.
Am I supposed to have any of the?
It should be. Unless there are questions. Hey, Chris, are you streaming?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are streaming for your information, so no naked dancing.
How are you?
Keep it professional, folks. I wanted to see the lady.
Go ahead and
I know,
call
it's got some,
the
I have to
meeting to order. No, you're fine. Second meeting faculty session, Senate is now in session.
Good, how are you?
Secretary, call the roll.
Okay, so we're gonna start calling roll now, so Chris Hudson. Asanga. Piper. Here. Sarah. Here. Tanner.
He is online walking, so count him as.
Oh, count him as present, okay. Derek.
Yes.
Steve. All right, Michael.
Here.
Lisa. Here. Treva. Delane. Here. Rashmi. Here. And Brandon. And do we have any guests? I think we do, right? Okay, no guests. All right.
I thought there was gonna be somebody, right? Who was that?
Yeah, I thought so too, but.
Okay, hey, Delaney, can you close the door while you're over there? We now move to approval of the minutes. We'll take a quick look. I'll entertain a motion when you're ready.
I changed the format because I could not read that tiny little writing.
I appreciate
it. I love it. So, well, I used it because that's what they had previously used was the little tabs, but then when you printed it, it was super small. And anyway, I didn't like it because I couldn't read it. So here we go. I move to approve the minutes.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
A couple of announcements from the president, got the, I guess, or other relevant faculty. So if you're relevant, you can say something after. Frank Sobey sent me an email asking if we would want him to come in next month to talk about one or more of these topics. And I'll just say the four that he says. I don't know if he wants to do them all at once or spread them out. But the first one he said is Senate Bill 37, Gen Ed curriculum, board role, statewide advisory council update. He is actually on the statewide advisory council, Frank is, so he has a sort of inside look at what they're doing at the coordinating board to implement this bill. So that's a pretty good topic for us. SB 12 for K through 12 and the impact on dual credit, Badger Bound status update, and a follow-up on redacted transcripts. That was a question that Steve sent me Or did he talk about it?
We talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it after.
I talked to Frank after,
Okay, I was like, I'll make sure I get them all down right. Okay.
I talked to Frank almost immediately after, and it turns out that the transcripts that only a few people in the administration and the person whose transcript it is can actually get to the transcript part. So it looks like it's not redacted. I mean, they're not redacted, but there's only you or a couple of the administration people can
It's
get
high
to
up
it.
administration.
Yes.
Okay.
The rest of it, if you put your own CV or something on there, which I did with my personal information on, I was able to, of course, remove it and take it off. So they apparently are also, Tina Babb and Tammy are going through the process of making sure that things are redacted that need to be redacted, and that's the way, preserves our privacy. So they are working on that, but he suggested that Tina Babb come in and give us an update on that as well. If you noticed, we have a new VP of Human Resources now.
As of this morning.
Dr. Michael Coleman, I was on that search committee. He's a really interesting, extremely intelligent guy that is, I think the one thing that a lot of the people on the search committee thought was that, well, he might not want to, he might not be able to get him if he was one of the persons, or he might not want to stay or whatever, but he would, we'll see. He'll be a big change, I think. And what else? There's a faculty senate committee list and assignments. I assigned chairs, and let those of you who wanted to or put your name down on one of those committees where you wanted it. If there are people that still need to be added to a committee, or you want to be added to a committee, just on one of these sheets, write your name down on the committee that you'd like to be on, and I'll add it to the list. What else? I think that's all my announcements. Anyone else have anything you'd like to discuss before we get into the big business? Okay. So I did just kind of discuss the committees a little bit. If there's any question really about what some of the committees are supposed to do, and you don't know what it's supposed to do, I can't tell you that I actually know specifically what some of these are supposed to do. But for example, faculty development committee, I got called to a meeting of that recently, and I see here that the reason I did was because I'm faculty senate president, so I was surprised about that one. There's a professional standards and relations committee, which is in our bylaws. It's kind of a tricky business there, I think, with how we do that. And were there any questions about any other committees of what you should be?
I have one about the professional standards and relations committee. Yeah, that's only when something comes up, right?
Yes.
It's not something we do normal.
Right.
Correct, and the entire faculty senate serves on that. And it used to be for like grievances and like things like that, but we no longer have any authority over grievances. So this committee is now more of an advisory committee and to help collect and review information.
Right. And the question I have about it is, comes down to where we bylaws, is the same thing, but when we meet as a whole, if we're calling it something else, a committee, is it actually the faculty senate meeting, or is it?
I think it would be a different, because it's the faculty senate acting as the committee. So it would be a separate meeting, not to be conducted under the faculty senate bylaws. But like guidance for those are in here. but it's not technically a meeting of the faculty senate, it's meeting as the committee, we're just all a part of that committee.
Okay, we'll go with that until told otherwise.
Told otherwise, I'm doing my best out here, guys.
Yeah. Okay, any other discussion about committees? No? All right, let's move on to the big business of the day that I hope we can finish up because it's
Are we
Piper.
doing committee reports? I'm sorry.
Sorry?
I thought we were just talking about the committees and the assignments. Are we gonna do committee reports?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I should have done that, sorry. Elections Committee.
Nothing to report.
Okay. Legislative Committee.
Nothing to report. as far as I know.
TCCTA representatives, both Asanga and I are reps, and you went to your first representatives meeting during investiture, right before investiture. Could you tell us what went on during that one?
Well, it was the introduction for me with the other members, and then there was nothing much they were talking. Attendance was low during my time. It was at 9 o'clock.
Mhm.
So,
Right.
for the future ones, actually, I can provide you with better.
Yeah,
They guided me to what they have been doing, plus in the future.
Right. And rep meetings tend to be pretty low attendance. I went to one, to another type of TCCTA meeting 2 or 3 days after that, which was a legislative briefing by Beeman Floyd, who's the lobbyist for TCCTA. And I was put on a legislative action committee by the executive council, which will be providing, watching the legislature, providing bullet points for testimony during hearings if there's a bill that is coming up that affects us, and various other kinds of ways of preparing the membership of TCCTA for legislative action. And it was a pretty interesting meeting. Piper, I think you had asked me where you'd expressed concern about the firing at Texas A&M.
Mhm.
And we did discuss that. If you don't know that issue, there was a professor of children's literature, I
Literature,
think,
she's in the English department.
right, who had mentioned some gender issues as part of this class, and a student complained, and it caused a cascade effect of firings all the way up the line. Chair, dean, did the president go to?
Yeah, he stepped down, but
Right.
to prevent firing.
Right, and so there was, of course, general concern from faculty across the state about how to take such a firing. There was also a Texas State professor who was fired for attending a conference on socialism. So one of the things, at least from the Texas A&M experience and what Beeman Floyd suggested, is the technical reason the faculty member was fired was not because of talking about gender. It was because it was not on the syllabus, saying that there would be discussions of gender in the class. And so that technicality was how they justified the firing. And so Beeman Floyd suggested that you proceed with caution. And if you are going to discuss issues that you think might be controversial, you need to make sure they're listed on your syllabus somewhere. So that was part of that issue. We talked a bit about the ramifications of the Charlie Kirk assassination and various other issues. The other issue we discussed was the Coordinating Board of Higher Education's ombudsman program, which he described as not being quite an ombudsman program, but more of a, what do you call it? A surveillance program, I think, to make sure that faculty senates and curriculum at various schools were following these new rules that are coming in. So
So they still gonna call it an ombudsperson?
what's that?
Are they still gonna call it an ombudsperson
Yes.
office?
Yes. He described it as the way that that was going to be functioning. So lots of reasons to be cautious as we move forward. Basically, there is still, at least on paper, total academic freedom. That's why the point about putting it on your curriculum, on your syllabus would cover that technical aspect, but still a lot of things that are going on. Mead Award.
Just a brief update. It was brought to my attention from a concerned faculty member that there are certain individuals Mead Award, and they give like extra credit to their students if they sign a letter, do a letter for them.
I've heard this too. I've heard this one.
And I don't know, can we change something in how we, so that doesn't happen, because it waters down. This person's concern was that it waters down the whole point of the award in being outstanding.
Is it a popularity?
It makes it a popularity.
Well, I would suggest that your committee come up with a recommendation.
Okay.
about that.
I just wanted to put that, we can do that.
Yeah, I think it's a good set of guidelines would be
Yeah.
better to, whoever comes to the committee, then you just say like, you can look who won the past 5 years, 7 years, and then see whether, for example, like a person who's in the first year winning the Mead Award is not fair judgment when you have senior faculty who's been servicing for more
Yeah,
than
maybe
5
There's a
years.
tenure limit, okay.
Exactly.
Or something like that. I'm not tenure in the traditional term, but a length of time of employment or something like that.
I
Exactly.
don't know if there's something we can do about having, when you see it's an entire class. I don't know how you do that either, but I don't know, y'all can work on things like
Yeah,
that.
if anybody has suggestions, please send them to me on how. For future Mead Award recipients. We want our Mead Award recipient to be honored as an outstanding faculty. Ways you think we might be able to make that different. We won't do the meet until spring, so we've got some time.
Although being popular isn't
It's not a negative,
right.
but
Yeah.
I do want to say that I think last year's Mead Award winner was both popular and also deserving of it.
Yes, we got one right here that was deserving, we know.
Yeah.
We know the one that was, there you go, yes. But I heard the same thing, and so I'm glad
I
I'm glad you're bringing that up.
I
It
just-
is something, it does need to be addressed, so.
That you can do also is, see how many times they got nominated. The first nomination itself should not be, 1 year, year one, they get nominated. They can
Have
be
to
under
be nominated
consideration
multiple years in a row,
for
maybe?
a few more years
that's a
because,
possibility.
yeah.
There you go. That's
So,
Well, the other thing is you need to make sure they are being submitted by the students on campus.
yeah,
Not
I've heard that there are
students.
some students that are
from-
not on this campus.
Yes, WT,
Yeah, I heard that too.
they are submitting, because
Wow.
when I was in the committee, I seen those
You
things.
saw that?
Yeah. Applicants,
Oh, okay.
yep.
Professor
Thank you.
Regis?
Yes, so
Yes.
I'm waiting for the green light from you.
Yes, very well. Faculty survey. Hospitality,
Thank you.
rock chips.
We hope you enjoy your snacks.
There you go.
Thank you.
Professional standards, not in functioning right now. Faculty Development Committee, I went to my first meeting of that. That committee is basically the ACES program committee. I think Robert Fulton and Victor Favela have tried to streamline ACES, make it a little bit, have fewer of the presentations, and we're going to have it this year at the Fire Academy. So they're trying to move it out to other campuses for that to be more equitable, I guess. And there's quite a few changes. We'll see how it works, but it looks like it's going to be quite different from times before. So I think they've also put out a call for presentations. So if you're wanting to do that, you should probably get those in. Instructional technology. Faculty Senate President, I don't know what that is. So.
We're supposed to have some say.
Obviously, you have nothing to report then. No report.
So we haven't met, apparently.
They haven't met in years.
Okay. Faculty committee appointments.
So thanks to Delane, now I know what the faculty committee does. So we're looking at, I think we'll be sending it out in spring.
Right.
So I'll start working, we'll start meeting and we'll work on it and make sure that every faculty member has a fair shot at the committee.
Good. That's what we changed last year, so yeah, and that was a
And I've shared with Rashmi some of that. I've just one more thing on that is is the faculty senate description.
Okay.
If anybody has any others that they think need work, please let us know.
Yeah, we probably will have a semi-answer to that here today.
Hopefully.
We're trying.
Rank and tenure. Yeah, Tanner, you're out there. I don't know if Tanner can talk. I don't think, can people talk from the outside?
He commented and said he's watching from virtually, so.
Tanner, you have anything to say? Okay. The Ad hoc Human Resources Committee, that's Steve's committee. We do have a new VP of Human Resources. So I think Pam suggested that maybe the committee could still go forward and express the same concerns to the new vice president that we didn't get resolved last May. So
I just think you should have some idea coming in to the overall feeling of HR and knowing the concerns that have been brought up and all of that as he's coming into his new role. And so he said, I don't know if we need it. And I said, actually, I think we do, because I think we need, Steve and Derek, if you're gonna,
It might not be too bad of an idea to invite him to a faculty senate meeting.
that'd be a good place for it.
Yeah. That way, it's not just like the committee, but like everybody can kind of chime in with concerns.
We would be streaming, but
True.
I think we can handle that. Ad hoc Senate Bill 37 provisions, we'll be doing our report here in a bit. And the Faculty Senate Archives, Elaine.
I was remiss in getting information out to my subcommittee. Send them what they ought to have access to, because I have access, and make sure that that's where we are and when we get started.
Noticed as I was dealing with some of these things that
It's all over.
the things that
sloppy.
shared with go back years and years and years, and not all of us
And
are
I
on
guess
there, so.
Who is responsible for giving access? It's the secretary, correct? Or who, do we even know?
I have added people that
Yeah,
just say
she did
that I
it with
don't.
me, and I was like, I
Yeah,
don't have access.
I gotta have access, so I just gave her access.
Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah,
it was my
yeah.
job or not, but I did, so.
That's another one too, is who controls access to
So
the
if you
drive.
don't have access, I guess let me know and I will get you added. So do you have access to our Google Drive? We have a master faculty senate folder on Google Drive. Do you have access? I don't. Okay, look and just email me. If y'all will email me, that's better. You don't have to, okay. Y'all just email me because I will forget. There you go. It's just better if y'all just email me and say, hey, I
Maybe
need
that's
this.
part of when we're.
I need it. So if y'all will do that, I can just do it right then and I'll take care of that. Okay?
Thank you.
So, yes.
We also need, and one of the things I'd like to try to develop a policy for of this is the sort of seamless renewal and removing people and putting them on maybe in May, the secretary, former secretary and new secretary could
Okay.
get together and take those things. I was told by Ally in the president's office that if we, the faculty senate, are having trouble with IT, that just to come tell her and she would intervene for us. This summer, Steve and I tried to get the ownership of the Senate mailing list changed from Nathan to me. That took about 2 months to get that ownership changed in I don't know how many emails. And then once it was changed to me, I kept trying to add all of you onto it and it wasn't letting me. And I thought, well, there's something on Outlook that I'm missing here. And so I sent multiple emails again to IT, and probably another month later, I was told, well, you can't add or put on or take off anybody on there. We have to do it.
Then why do you have the list?
So I sent them all your names and you should be on there. If you're not, let me know. But things like that, we need to figure out a way to make it easier because the incoming officers and members don't need to be in this position where, we're months and months into something and we don't have access or don't have.
I just made my own group and put everybody in it physically myself.
Yeah.
Made my own private group, but then it's not something everybody can use, only I can use it. But
I did the same.
I got tired of trying to send stuff out and then getting multiple emails. I'm not on it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not on it anymore when we've tried to use the list that's in there. So I got tired of that and just made my own.
Well, it is up to date now.
It is up to date.
So you could type
So
in
deal Senate.
faculty senate and
It's a
it'll,
deal faculty senate.
I'm just-
but
I can't deal with that.
it's crazy.
I'll just do my own thing.
Okay, so we shall move to, continuing our constitution bylaws. There's copies of both at the end of the table there. Essentially, what we tried to do was make both the Constitution and the bylaws conform to the provisions of Senate Bill 37, which really is no longer Senate Bill 37. It's now subchapter G, Chapter 51, Texas Education Code, Section 51.3522. That is the section that was added in that bill to dictate the Constitution, dictate how faculty senates were constituted and the rules they could go by and what we could do. There were also the board where there were some provisions that weren't actually in that subchapter. There was some flexibility where we could tailor things to our faculty senate, and I put those into those motions. So those were approved by the board as well. But basically, the one, Piper and I have a difference in our bylaws and constitution. If you'll look at the section on the members of how we get our members, there were a couple of things the education code does now, and it says that you can't have over 60 members, which we wouldn't have a problem with. At least one member from each area, as we call them, or communities, as we call them here, is elected by the faculty for a 2-year term, and then one member from each community is appointed by the president, and they serve for 1 year, but can be reappointed for up to 6 years. So there's a little bit of difficulty, I guess, figuring out how we have rotate members on and off. Last meeting, I noted some of you are actually presidential appointees now, and some of you are elected. So the former bylaws, you want to talk about that, Piper?
Okay, so former bylaws that existed, it was mostly it was based on the number of faculty members that were a part of each community, so that there was like more representation in like the STEM department, because there's like much more faculty in there compared to other ones. So when I was like kind of trying to figure out a compromise with this, I talked to Chris, and we talked about it last meeting too, where we wanted to have the appointed senators, but we still wanted more faculty elected senators, just so that we had more representation as a faculty body. So at the base level, each academic division / community would, at least in this one, what I have versus what Chris has, we have some options. Is that there are 2 elected senators and an appointed senator, bare minimum, for all academic divisions. Now, we can just leave it like that, and we could just have 3 representatives from each academic division for the faculty senate. But if we did want to include more elected members based on faculty members that are a part of each community, then that's what I have highlighted in green on that first page. If we do decide to have more senators based on faculty members in each division. But Chris and I decided that it was kind of like up to all of us to see which direction we wanted to go.
If I could share.
Yes.
When we did the committees last year, Frank and the committee, we sat down, asked us to put everything into the community. It changed sort of the representation of all of that. So I think one thing here is you can't say academic division.
Okay.
I think you have to say community.
Okay.
Because we're still in the STEM division, but so we have 2 STEM senators, but we have 2 senators from BCIS and
I'm in in biology.
Right.
But we're still under that STEM.
but you're under the STEM community, whereas we are under different communities,
Okay.
even though we're part of the STEM division.
Okay.
So I think we need to take away the division terminology
Okay.
and make it just whatever the academic communities are, because that's how we set that up for that.
So I did look at the academic communities, like on the website, but also like our ACTX website is hardly ever updated.
Right, but those are the standard communities. So
Okay.
there's business, CIS.
Because like when I was looking,
Public
it still just
service.
said like STEM. Or was there?
STEM is a community,
STEM is
yes.
one of the communities.
It's a community and a division.
It's a
See,
community
that's
and
where
a
it's
division.
giving me, and I'm just
Yes.
like, which one do we do? But under communities, I think that would be a little bit better.
Well, that's the way Frank had wanted it to go, because that's how we set up the rest of the committees. We don't have to keep saying it that way, but that's how we set up the rest of the committees, was based on communities, not divisions.
And that's the language, I used community language in the motions with the board.
Yeah. Okay. You stick with,
Okay, we can.
and so,
Yeah,
There's
I didn't know the difference between community and
sometimes it becomes a negative because like CIS and business.
CIS has 7 faculty. Yeah,
We have only so many,
and business only has what?
8 or 9 now.
Yeah,
but
so I mean,
that's
we are very
smaller
small
community.
communities, that's why Frank combined them.
yeah.
So that business and CIS together are where we elect from that group. So that was and Frank and I went through, and Treva, we went through the list of kind of how many faculty were in each of the communities and tried to make it so that the representation was equitable across the communities.
Okay, so if we're looking at equity, and that's what I was looking at in the way I put it in the Constitution was we elect 2 from each community, the faculty elects 2 from each community, and the president would appoint 1. So the elected faculty would be 2/3 majority. Appointed by the president would just be 1/3. But we have language, I have language where it says that we actually take a kind of what you were doing with the committees. You get people, faculty members who say, yes, I'm interested in serving on the Senate. And so we elect 2, and then we get a list of the others who are interested, and we give that list to the president
Oh, that's a good
and
idea.
say,
That's from.
here are the people that are serving. So in essence, we're getting, it's really not going to be where it's an adversarial kind of group
Right,
of
yeah.
one against the other. It's just people who are interested.
Well, and the committees are, the communities are grouped also, like liberal arts and creative arts are grouped together.
Yes.
As in the way that Frank had it set up last year.
Yeah, because like right now, like if I just Google Amarillo College Communities, it's business, CIS, they're separate.
Correct.
Then it has creative arts, education, health services, industry, liberal arts, public service, and STEM.
Yeah, so STEM is the only one of those that's actually separate.
Okay.
We've actually combined the others, like liberal arts and creative arts are together.
Okay.
And public
This is
service and
the
industry are together. So if you go back to the committees document that we had last year,
Yeah.
you'll see kind of how we broke those up. And I think that's it for consistency. That's what we need to stick with.
I think that would probably be the best as well.
I agree.
And that's on the Google Drive, and I can find it.
So
Probably, I don't know. I think
Maybe somewhere.
Did you upload it into the Google? Cause I swear I worked with you trying to get
I
you
know,
on
I
that.
thought I did, I think, I don't know if it's out there or not. I have the original document. I will get it to you.
So I guess,
Well, actually, I'll make sure it's on the drive and I'll send you the link.
so the question is, do we want to have a Senate that's more like the US Senate or the Texas Senate, which has the same number of people from each community? Or do we want to be more like a House of Representatives where we have more members for larger communities?
I think more members from larger communities makes sense.
And
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
I like this idea of.
Okay. But yeah, we can definitely do it based on community groups. But then I just need to, I was like trying to do it because then I have to know every individual community and I need to know how many full-time faculty members are a part of each
we
community.
have that.
So maybe we can ask the president's office to give us that
We have.
list.
We have it.
We have it.
Perfect.
Okay.
So we're going for the tyranny of the majority, right?
Correct.
Yes. And then also like with that, so then there's like subsections and like elected senators. So I have it so that they have staggered terms to ensure like continuity of that representation. Elected senators then serve 2 terms. It used to be 3, but now we're down to 2. And then just like I have odd numbers and even numbers. I hardly remember writing that. Yeah, but yeah, just double check to see if you guys like that amount of representation that I have highlighted in green.
And I'm actually gonna just state, I don't have the most recent document because Frank issued that document, not
Okay.
us.
So we need to
So
contact.
I'll talk to Sherry and I'll get the right document.
Okay, so can we say, what we can say is in vote on this, we'll call a vote and get a motion to make sure that the representation is consistent with the document that will come from Frank, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we can kind of leave that as a side note. I did talk to Mark White. Our old constitution required a 2/3 vote of the entire faculty for change. which was going to delay us quite a bit on getting these things done. And we really, if possible, we really need to get these voted on and approved today because we're sort of working outside of the law right now. So we can say, approved with a proviso that we fix the membership thing and all that. But I did talk to Mark White about that 2/3 vote, and he said essentially the motions approved by the board in August nullified our constitution. So we don't actually have to take it to a 2/3 vote. Unless any of you think that it should be something that the entire faculty votes on or something like that. The only other aspect I think that both we should put in the faculty bylaws, in the Senate bylaws and in the Constitution is that because we're seeing this intervention from state government into our business, that we should put in here as a way to avoid having to do another 2/3 vote after we vote in this new Constitution, that the Constitution will be as it is, given the state law right now, but that any changes in state law would be immediately rolled into the Constitution and bylaws in the future. We're hoping to kind of carve out community colleges basically in the next session from this section where it doesn't really fit with us. And we think that there's a decent possibility that we can do that. But until then, we both put in the Texas Education Code numbers, and that would be the only other thing I would suggest adding to the bylaws and Constitution, just that we would be able to amend the Constitution and bylaws based on any changes in state law, something like that.
Yeah, cover ourselves for the future.
It's like what we put on our syllabus, subject to change.
Right.
There you go.
Covers all controversial.
So if you all would just take a chance and look through if you see anything funny in these that we should change, we will change how the membership section works in both the Constitution and the bylaws, and we will add the provision that we will follow state law when and if it changes. Other than that, if you have a chance, I would like to entertain a motion to approve both this Constitution and the bylaws.
There are some points that I do want to just bring to y'all's attention because, again, as I was going through this, I had free reign. So I was basically just putting in things that I thought might be good. So just double check it. I know one for sure that I put in there is that for Article 2, Section 3, based on like the appointed members coming from the president, Section 3, subsection B, I put in a clause that would request that the president give us a written response if they choose not to elect or appoint somebody for the officers through here, because again, the president has to appoint officers. And while we hold a kind of like a makeshift election that we provide recommendations for, with that, I did ask them to provide a written response as to the reasons why if they choose not to go with that, just to help add checks and balances to those things.
And would we still be parliamentarian in that as well?
Because the parliamentarian is elected.
Okay,
And
so
it
that
is
would
not an
that's
appointment
not-
position.
Gotcha, okay.
But it would just be, it's just making sure that they give serious consideration to the recommendations for the faculty senate board. And then we request that they provide a written response as to why.
And that whole idea is not in that section. That's what I got the board to approve.
Right.
And
But we do talk about it in here that we will provide recommendations. It is in the bylaws about for like the board. So it's still under that like section 2 in terms of like the vice president, secretary, and regular president. Again, they're all appointed, and so that's written in there that we do hold that election and provide that recommendation. So that was one of the things I kind of added of my own free willingness that I thought would help with checks and balances.
So that first line there, it says the president of the college shall appoint the presiding officer, vice president, president-elect. Shouldn't the presiding officer have a little thing there that says president?
President, yep, I can do that.
yeah, that's presiding officers
Slash
language from the bill.
president.
So sorry.
Yeah,
There you
there might be some cosmetic changes
Yeah.
where we, I did it in the motions where I changed presiding officer to president and there's something, I think I saw one with provost or something, which we don't have.
Yeah, again, we don't have it.
Yeah,
So,
it's for college president.
Essentially,
Yeah.
both of these things, what their ideas, they're supposed to conform to that section of the education code.
Yeah, so I was
And-
juggling language that I don't use all the time. As a biology person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if there's any cosmetic things that you guys see, like, please let me know. And then also under Article 3, Section 3, that's where we see that Professional Standards and Relations Committee. And in our original bylaws, we had a lot more power in terms of that like committee. But now I basically just made it more of, it convenes as a separate committee to review matters related to anything with professional standards, policy, workplace concerns, and basically saying that we don't have any decision-making authority on it, but we can still collect information and advocate for faculty. And then I also kind of did the same thing with the questions committee, in order to,
Section 4.
yeah, Section 4 of Article 3, to ensure anonymity, right, with those questions committees, because questions are submitted to faculty senate. And so like the questions committee would have to meet separately before bringing these questions to the faculty senate meetings, because as we are recorded, like if we're just like bringing these things and we're bringing in confidential information to protect the people who are asking those questions. This basically states that the question committee meets separately and then provides all the information necessary while ensuring confidentiality and protecting that anonymity.
Right. So we don't have a questions committee right now.
Correct.
Do you remember what happened to it? Anyone?
Yeah, we decided to get rid of it because everything was coming to the single email.
Right.
It's because if you submit a question, it goes.
Because we're like, oh, we just bring it to the
We'll just bring it
faculty
to the
senate.
Senate and we'll talk.
Right.
But now.
But now I think we need to reestablish the questions committee
Yeah.
in order to maintain that. So
I make a motion, we reestablish questions committee.
I second it.
All in favor?
Nice.
Okay, good. How shall we constitute it? Do we, right
we-
now, the emails go to me.
Which
And
you
that
could,
took a long time to
Yeah.
change too.
I mean, the president could chair it and then we have.
That's what I would say. I think the president would have to chair it because
So-
you're gonna get the
Come
information.
through and then the president gives it to the,
Well, or you're on the committee with the rest of the
okay,
folks.
so president chair it and then,
Well, and that way you know when we need to meet. I mean, you can
Right.
call a meeting
Right.
if we have questions.
Because we may not have questions that are that, we don't get questions like we used to because people don't want their.
there's somewhere on the website.
Well,
as well.
and Steve also filtered out a lot, because there were lots of things coming through there, a lot of times that weren't actually questions.
Correct.
Remember,
It was just
Steve-
comments,
Steve
like, there's
talked about
comments.
that. It
Yeah.
was, he's like, we're not even gonna discuss this because this wasn't a question, this was a rant.
Mhm.
And that's not what that's for.
Right.
And so I think that's what Chris can do, filter that stuff out. And then if there are legitimate questions, call a meeting. So
Well, should the officers be the committee, or do you want
I feel like that would
others?
be easier.
Yeah.
But also like I am an officer and so I don't want to be like, yeah, give it to us, right? But like we could.
Honestly, you guys meet outside of Senate anyway.
Yeah.
And so I kind of feel like that's reasonable. What's everybody else think?
Well, we would, and
That's
we
fine
would
with
also
that.
bring
That's
it
fine.
to the
That's-
Senate.
Yeah, all the questions would still come, but we would need to filter out.
Correct.
Um,
Or deal with the random.
And the
What are reasonable
confidentiality.
questions?
So we could just add that into the bylaws about the
Can we go-
Officers being on the
Committee.
committee.
Yeah.
way the committee functions, yeah. Good.
Let me skim, see if anything else. I think those were the main things. I did add at the very end, section 4 and section 5 to establish what a quorum consists of. And then included the broadcasting of meetings in compliance with Texas Chapter G, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But I think the main committee changes and then our number of senators were the main things I really wanted to bring to y'all's attention to make sure that I didn't go too crazy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Mhm. I know, that was a big jump.
And as you see, the Constitution's very short as well, and
I know.
I And all I did with it was conform it to the education code. So there's really nothing in there. As a matter of fact, I think the board did pretty much a similar thing about putting in this education code business, and that it would change, and wherever it was in conflict with board policy, that the state law would prevail. So that's the same attitude they have to it. So I think if we could vote on these with the provision that we're going to make some changes as discussed during this meeting, we can have them and they can exist, and then if we want to, we can go back and.
We can make a mental review or something.
Yeah. Which I should be able to bring the final copy of it, all fixed and tweaked by next meeting.
Right. And we also want to we're going to run it by Mark White.
Yeah.
And then either he or I will announce, we'll go to a board meeting and tell them that we've established our bylaws and constitution. So it'd be great if we could do all that before the next board meeting.
Okay.
Which I don't know when that is.
It's the third Tuesday of the month.
It's November 7th.
No, the board meeting.
The board meeting will be the third.
You're serious.
I was like,
It's the fourth Tuesday, the third Tuesday or fourth Tuesday?
The third Tuesday is the 21st, and then it's the
I think it's actually,
28th.
is it the fourth Tuesday or the third?
I can't remember.
Well, I can have it, I should have no
Yeah,
issues
just
getting it done by the 21st.
It's the 20-something and it's in Dumas. It's at the
Yeah.
Moore County campus. It's
Okay,
not- I know that.
I should be able to get that all edited and everything by October 20th. At least a day before, maybe the 21st, or we don't need until the 28th, but it'll be done by the 20th.
Which is the beginning of fall, right?
Yeah.
There was
So
also.
I'll have it done even before that.
Okay. So I make a motion to approve.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Our constitution and bylaws are approved. We're now totally legal. Let's see, new business. I actually discussed the first part of it, the Google Drive access and emails was part of what I talked about earlier. Student parking issues. Who brought that up?
Me and Sandra
Okay.
were talking about it. So with the student parking issues, it's also faculty parking issues, just because we don't have a designated faculty spot at our locations, which I know people have tried in the past to get faculty parking, and I don't think it ever worked out for whatever reasons.
Russell specifically said, we're not any better than our students, we can walk just like they do. Now, that was what Russell said, and I don't think it's been.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
I just know that was that's what he said, that won't get him.
But I know I myself, I never got a citation, but I got a warning.
The ticket's only $10.
I know, but it's the principle. It's the principle. And so basically, especially on Van Buren, over by the science lab building, a lot of people park on the streets. And like there is parking on there and it's pretty normal. Everybody's like kind of used to it. But there is like, one of the laws is like you have to be like 30 feet back from a stop sign. And which it's never happening. And so like it has nobody kind of checked it or anything like that. And then the semester came around and they started occasionally checking it here and there, but there's no indicator to tell how far 30 feet is, right? And so when I received my warning, it's fine. It's fine. But I did contact the police department and I was like, hey, like, thank you for this warning. Thank you for not giving me my $10 ticket. Would have been fine. But is there a way that we can like get the curbs painted or something with like red? Like, and he said that they don't have any control over that. Apparently it's through the city.
Yes,
But-
because that's a city street, that makes sense.
But shouldn't those city streets be painted? Even if they're on our campus? Is there like a way that we can smush the city and the college to like make them painted?
They definitely don't
I know.
do it in my neighborhood.
I'll ask him.
That they don't have.
You can't ask the police people?
The police said it was the city's responsibility.
They said it was the city's, but I did notice when I was parking today that there is a little red line on the curb for 30 feet. So there's like a little line, but the students aren't gonna know what that is and they're still parking in front of it.
Maybe the city is going to pay.
Maybe, so they might, so maybe they heard it, so, but I know that especially with enrollment being up, parking is a little crazy out there. People are parking all wacky places.
And part of it is that they completely redid this parking lot, which is great because it looks nice, but they took away half the parking.
So.
And they're not allowed to park on the street over here anymore either, so that doesn't make it any better, especially
No
for y'all.
parents taught their children not to walk between two parked cars.
We have a whole bunch of parking.
Is that-
And honestly, I was on a group that we dealt with some parking issues. And the parking survey that was done, we actually hired somebody to do a parking survey at the Washington Street campus. There's plenty of parking in the north lot, is what you will get every time. Because the north lot is.
Well, they've never parked there.
First week of school.
First
That's
week of school it
not,
was.
yeah,
First
that's
week of
not
school.
true because I park there, I park over in that lot and it's full a lot.
Yeah, but that. They were talking about
Sidewalk
signage,
along.
parking, and because we approached, I don't remember exactly what, but it was like, why don't we have a parking garage, other things like that, and it was that they did this parking survey, and at that point in time, the lot, north of 20, the one between 21st and 22nd, was rarely at capacity.
It's changed now, so.
Exactly, so we can, I say, let's go for it, let's make a recommendation that it be evaluated.
Yeah, I think
So,
so.
I think you guys should.
An issue on the West Campus, I don't know, that's another busy place.
I mean, it tends to be whenever they are having a CE something in the lecture hall, that's when it gets really, really busy. But if there's not a CE going on, it's typically not as full.
That makes sense.
Typically, but that doesn't mean it cannot, I mean, of course, the longer you go in the semester, there's more and more spots
I know,
available.
it's right.
That's another.
You're like, wow, look at all this parking there.
It's hall, it's pretty busy, like that first, maybe month, and it's hard to find a parking space, so.
And then also safety issues.
Now I seen like police patrolling around the crosswalks, because I almost got hit by a guy driving 50 miles per hour on Van Buren, like at 12:30.
I was in the crosswalk too, and they almost plowed me too. I could have reached out and like
that lady was
smacked the back
texting.
of their truck.
Not a student.
Almost did.
And no one knows how to use the roundabout either.
No. Oh, gosh. Don't get me started on that.
I pull out and when somebody's coming at me, when I'm already in it, I stop in front of them and I point at the yield sign.
And my husband,
Yeah.
it hit him, but he was
Trying
doing so
not to
slow
get-
there, he hit the
Yeah.
top of her car and she was like, what? This-
Okay,
No,
we-
I'm
we will
I'm
bring
a truck if
parking
they get
to the
Yes,
president
that's, okay,
next
just,
week.
I think there's enough of an issue that is probably worth at least addressing.
Okay, that ends old and new business. We have an open forum time if you have any other issues you'd like to discuss. Are we good?
I think so.
Okay. Take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Thank you.